Hello, welcome. So excited to welcome you here today. Um, and welcome Jessie to our live today, who you see in the screen next to me. I want to introduce her to you a little bit because Jessie is, I call her the 100% action taker. She is a client turned friend, and now she's a part of our wellness team. So excited about that. And she is also a wife, a mom of two, who is dedicated to her health and that of her children's and her family. And she seeks natural solutions whenever possible. And her journey has literally proved it. I just think about how long has it been? A few years, right?
I think I
Has it been
completed the
3?
program like last fall.
Yeah, but like over like us working together
Oh yeah,
as
a
a
couple
whole as
years.
a family, has it been 3 years?
I think so.
Yeah, about 3 years.
Yeah.
So, welcome, Jessie. Tell us a
Thank
little
you.
bit about yourself and why you are so dedicated to your health and healthy living.
I mean, I totally jump on the bandwagon of what you say, like you're going to pay now or you're going to pay later. And I was just at a point in my life where I had nothing left to give. Like it was either I give up. I mean, I was at a point where I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, am I going to make it through this? Is this the way it's always going to be? Like, something had to give. And so I just
Mm.
jumped in with both feet and it changed my whole world.
Wow. Love it. Love it. It's so awesome. It's good to hear from you like, okay, I just have to do something. I have to do something to change and shift my life because being here and settling and staying here is just no longer an option, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Let's talk more about your health journey and just why you decided to work personally with me. Like you could have worked with anyone else. Why did you choose to work with me?
Uh, it was a given to me. Like, on top of just being a crunchy mom, like, I wanted to make sure that my symptoms and what I was dealing with was like cured at the root. I
Mhm.
didn't want it to come back and me have to do whatever protocol I was put on another 2 years, 3 years. And I was tired of one, trying to get a doctor's appointment is a nightmare right now, especially with like how I have to do it. It's,
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 months wait. And whenever I'm in pain, like right now, 3 or 4 months is not conducive to life.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, they're just either going to give you a pill, they're going to give you a cream, and it's putting a band-aid on it. And I'm not in the band-aid mentality. I'm like, let me heal myself from the inside.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So
I'm not
so
for the
so
band
it was
method.
huh?
I'm not for the band-aid method.
No. So would you say it was like because I preach root cause. Like I'm going to help you get to the root naturally and it's just like root cause, root cause.
Yeah, because I
Now
knew I knew what I was doing wasn't working, but I needed somebody who could tell me like you need to change this. Because I
mhm.
had tried doing my own research and tried this supplement and this thing and it didn't work long term. And you had already worked with my son, you had already worked with my husband, turned my husband's life completely around, and I will forever scream that from the hilltop. And I just needed someone with more expertise than me to
Mhm.
show me the road that I needed to walk. Do
Yeah.
this, don't do this. Trade this out for this. Do this a little bit differently and show me how to tweak my life and what to do to actually not have to deal with this anymore forever.
Yeah. So good. Okay. Okay. So what was going on specifically? Can you like think back to
Oh, I can.
those days?
I was literally in tears.
Mhm. Think back to like what was going on and like describe what was the biggest challenge you were facing during that time.
I There was so much going on. So It's TMI, and it's going out there to the masses. And I hope this speaks to somebody by me being super vulnerable and super TMI. But it wasn't an issue of my cleanliness or a clean diet, but I was having recurring yeast infections that hindered my everyday life. Not only does it obviously hinder my intimacy with my husband, but you don't feel confident while that's going on. You don't feel comfortable. Sometimes it's painful. Mine were very painful. It's not just an itch, it was painful.
Mm-hmm.
I was also having extremely irregular cycles. My shortest cycle was 21 days, which was terrible considering that I would bleed for 5 or 6 days on top of spotting for 2 to 3 days before and after. So all total, that was like 11 days, all for it 10 days later to start over.
Yeah.
A 21-day cycle, like, no thanks. So I knew something had to change. And then also with, like, my stomach was always distended, and I didn't feel attractive. My belly was always bloated, and it was a big kick to my self-confidence, and I just didn't feel like myself. I felt like my femininity, that whatever powers that be were just like stomping on it. Like, I lost myself, and I would cry all the time. And I'm like, I can't do this. And my husband was just like, it's going to be okay one day. Like, you're going to find the answer. And so I was just like, babe, I don't know what it's going to cost, but I've got to turn this around, because like, this isn't conducive for our marriage. It's not conducive for my business, my life, my motherhood. Like, I've got to change it. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
And so I did whatever it took.
Yeah. So good. I mean, I feel like, it's like you don't really understand what is actually going on in the body. You think that, like, you could think like something's wrong with you, like,
Exactly.
and you were doing all the things. You were eating healthy.
Very healthy. Very
You
good.
weren't putting a lot of chemicals on your body. Like, you weren't doing the things that you would think most people are doing, and that's what's contributing to it. So we had to look at it a different route with you. Like, what is causing Jessie symptoms? We got to get to the root of this.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, tell me a little bit about your life, like, now.
Well, my life is great now. This is gonna probably be another TMI, but like, she's so happy. Like, she's just happy. Things are spicy again. I feel healthy. I feel confident. My stomach is flat again. Sorry about the dogs, but
it's fine.
It's just great. Like, everything that I was trying to fix, and I was like, if I could just tweak this, I would feel so much better. Like, every little thing that I could have put on a wish list came true. Like, boop, magic wand.
Yeah.
It took time. I don't want to discount that. It did take time, and it took a commitment, but all wishes came true.
Yeah. Most people think it's like, hey, what supplement can I take to get rid of this and go on my merry way? And I'm like, no, it's deeper. When you want to get to the root cause, it's not just you take a supplement and move on, right? We have to figure out what's going on, get to the root of it, and then we can talk about what happens after that.
People don't realize, like, what you're experiencing right now started possibly like a few years ago. So you can't just turn something like that around in a couple of days. Sometimes it might take a couple of weeks or a couple of months, because it started so far back, and now we're having to heal that whole journey so that you can change that trajectory.
Yeah. You got to heal. Your body was created to heal itself. As long as you give it that environment, it works for your good. And that's what you have to do. You have to get that environment going in your body, right? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. I want to know, what were some of the key things that you learned inside of the program and working with me that contribute to like the results that you have? Like, was there one defining lesson that you had? Or you can give three if you want. If there's not one, but
For my particular journey, it was really learning about what my body needed, because there's so many diets, there's so many supplements, and people will say, you need a ton of spinach for iron, and just all of this. It doesn't apply to everyone.
mm-hmm.
There's no one protocol that will work for everybody. Like, it's got to be personalized to that person. And so throughout that journey with your program, I learned what worked for me. And if I wanted to maintain this healthy environment in my body long term, I had to follow the personalized protocol for me.
So true.
That was the biggest thing in making this last.
Yeah. It's so good. It's like there is not a one size fits all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I feel like the doctors try to do. They give me 15 minutes with the nurse, and we're just, taking down my information, and the doctor comes in for 5 minutes and they're like, this, okay, here's your diagnosis, here's what you need, bye, let me know if you need anything else.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes with the doctor, and
Yeah.
you all of a sudden know exactly what's wrong with me.
Nope.
There's no chance for dialogue, for conversation about it. Well, listen to my other like secondary symptoms. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's crazy out there. It really is. You have to advocate for your health. When you're
Oh,
going to
yes.
the doctor's office, you have to advocate for your health. You have to find the one that, works best for you so you can get to the root of what's causing your symptoms versus you living with this for months and years and feeling hopeless, because that's what happens is when you're dealing with this one thing and you can't get over it, you actually it gets depressing, and you need someone who's actually going to listen to you and make you not think like you're just going crazy, or to just put your age on it. You're just getting older. It's a part of life. Deal with
No,
it.
this
No,
isn't normal.
no.
It might be normal, it might be common, but that doesn't have to mean it's normal.
Yeah.
And you can change it. You have to take your health into your own hands and find something that's right for you.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, were there any moments like during the program, did you have any setbacks or doubts like while you were walking through your journey? And
Um,
if you did, how did you overcome them?
the biggest part for me was probably just making myself make better choices when it
Mhm.
came to my particular protocols diet,
Mhm.
so that I would continue making progress. Because at the time I was traveling a lot for work, which is super hard to stay on track. At least it was for me.
Mhm.
And just finding better choices, or either coming prepared.
To where you were going. Like,
Yeah, like if I was going to have to stay in a hotel or an Airbnb for, the vacation or the trip or the business trip or whatever,
mhm.
going to the grocery store and getting snacks that I knew would help me stay on track,
Okay.
and packing a lunch if we were going to be going out, and making sure that, I'm like a no excuse mentality. Like, you're either in 100% or you're probably not going to make it. 100% is easier than 98%.
Yeah, you say that all the time and I love it.
It's so true, because that 2% is a 2% chance of failing. You're either all in it, or you're leaving room for error, room for failure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm going to invest for long term and whatever the price ticket is,
Mhm.
I better make it worth it, because I'm not down for wasting my money
Yeah.
or my time.
Yeah. So good. So good.
Oh, but I went from like clinically on a report, hormonal, burnt out,
Mm-hmm.
to now I was also like in a really dark place. So I was depressed, and I would even tell my family like I feel so down. I just feel so
Mm-hmm.
like kicked when I'm down. And they
Mm-hmm.
were like, yeah, that's the depression talking. It's okay to go and get some medication. You know, there's no shame in that. And I'm like, no, I know that if I can balance my hormones, like truly balance them,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the happy hormone is within your own body. I don't need a pill for that. I just need someone who knows more than I do to walk me along that road.
Yes. You found it. You found it. Yes. I'm so happy for you. It's just so encouraging to hear like before and afters. It really brings me so much joy. It really does. So
I hope
thanks.
this is helpful for someone
Yeah.
because you're just, when you're in that dark of a place, you're just like, nobody gets it. Nobody
Mhm.
understands. Nobody wants to listen to me. Like, how am I supposed to find the right person who's actually going to help me without it feeling like a therapy session? And
Yeah.
they give, who's going to give me something that's going to actually help me make progress and not have to put a band-aid on it and deal with it again later.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Lauren.
So thank you. Thank you. Listen, I'll fight for your health. Like I am been passionate about health for over 20 years and I am like probably before that I just didn't realize it, but I this is where I'm at. This is what I'm called to do and I am sticking with it.
You've got the calling and you are good. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you feel like you've tried everything, try this one more thing,
Yeah.
because she's literally made all the difference in every single one of my family members' lives.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's the truth. And I will die on that hill.
Okay. It's just I'm like anyways, I got all of the feelings right now.
I know, I got a little emotional at the moment.
How did the support and the resources while we were working together, like in and inside of the program, how did it impact your journey towards achieving your results? Like,
Yeah, it was crucial. You
mhm,
know, being able to walk through that journey and having you right there in my pocket, probably not you, probably made all of the difference, because if I felt like something wasn't really working, I could talk to you about it. If I feel like, you know, part of my diet plan wasn't quite enough, you say, hey, why don't you try this? And I'm like, duh. And then what if this or what if that? I have a question here, I have a question there.
mhm,
Being able to literally talk to you on a daily or weekly basis, it made a whole world of difference, because it was so much different than any other program I had heard about, any other protocol I had tried, any other doctor I had seen. Like, they give it to you and expect you to run with it. Whereas you are very hands on, because you know what it takes. You've done it all before, and you're going to help that client see, like, finally get progress,
yeah,
finally get that healing.
in it to the end.
Yeah.
In it to the
In it
end.
to win
I'm
it.
committed as much as you are. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And people don't, I don't think people understand that when they first see you, like,
Mhm.
you're in it for their healing. You want to graduate people out of your care. Whereas with the sick care model, they want you just better enough to where you have to come back.
Yeah. No. Once you thriving, thriving,
Yeah.
thriving.
Yeah.
So now that you've had these amazing results and you're feeling better in your body, your skin, and you're happy again, and you're full of joy and just like everyday life is just different for you. Like what would you say you're doing now? How are you continuing to apply what you learned inside the program? Like how are you continuing your journey?
Yeah. The biggest thing is, for the most part, I have continued the diet protocol because I loved the results that I got. Because within, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 2 weeks, I had sent you that message and said, like, my stomach's flat again. I can like see the definition in my stomach without working out. Like the bloat was just gone. And so I was like, okay, something I was eating was obviously not agreeing with my gut. And yeah, just doing daily detox practices, which she gives you all the resources that you need to learn about that in the program. Diet, and I still take supplements just to maintain my health. And our food is always lacking, so we always want to supplement and make sure our bodies are getting everything they need to thrive. And it's very sustainable. Even while you're in the protocol, it's totally adaptable to your lifestyle, but maintaining it is, you make it a piece of cake.
Yeah. When you make it a lifestyle and you're in it, like it just,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't think differently. Like, this is my life. This is how I live it. And you embrace it and you don't care about what anyone else is doing, right? Like, this is my life and this is what I'm doing. This is what our family doing. Like,
yeah, you only have one life.
Yeah.
So you might as well, I mean, I'd hate to live in a life where it sucked every day, because I've been there and I'm not going back.
No, sir. No, ma'am. Love it. Love it. Okay. If you were to sum up, if you can sum up with one sentence, what is your experience with cellular detoxification? What would you say it is?
Like a summary of how it's affected me?
Yeah.
I mean, how do I explain this? The cellular detoxification is getting down to like the very, very smallest place that discord could happen in your body. It's getting it all out. It's working at the smallest, tiniest level. And you can't get that with just any protocol or any detox. It's Dr. Lauren's specific one, because I didn't even know what it was until I started working with Dr. Lauren. And I was like, why isn't everybody doing this? Because if you're not working at the very, 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 very root of what's going on, and you leave that seed in there, it's going to come back.
Yeah. So. It's going to come back. You got to get at the root. If you want to get better for long-term health, you've got to get at the root of what's going on in your body.
Mm-hmm. And it's been over a year since I went through the protocol, and I'm 100% good to go.
Yes, I love do not come back. Love to hear that. Yes. So what advice would you give to someone considering to join the Total Body Restoration Program based on your experience? What would be that one thing you would say to someone listening right now?
One thing?
Mm-hmm.
One thing. I can't pick just one thing.
Well, it's okay. What would you say to someone listening right now to you? And what would you say to them that's like hesitant, doesn't know for sure if they're ready for this? What would you say to them since being through it, coming on the other side?
If you're scared and you're crying to yourself because you are so frustrated because your body has continually let you down, and you're so over it and you don't know what to do, and you're tired of crying, you're tired of trying things, you're tired of being unhappy, feeling depressed, feeling dark, and feeling like you just don't care anymore, try this one more thing. I promise you won't regret it.
Won't regret it.
It will make all the difference. I promise. I personally promise. It will make a difference.
I agree. I agree with you. Thank you for that. Like, I agree. But it's different coming out of someone who's been through the process and is not me, than coming from my mouth sometimes. Like you want, like the impact that TBR has on lives is enormous. And it is not something that was slapped together. It is something that has been curated over the past 20 years of experience, clinical application. Like it's tried, it's true, it's not on trial.
Mm-mm.
So thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience with us today. And it's so inspiring to hear about, just your the way you felt in your journey and the positive changes it has made in your life, in your family's life. I loved our work together, and it's a joy just to even have you here
Thank
and
you.
hear your stories. I mean even though I know the story and I know your outcomes, like hearing it over and over again, I don't know, it just gives me a little spark, and it makes me keep going forward. Like I'm never gonna stop, like
No,
never.
don't.
But it just gives me this little spark of energy, like when I hear the impact it's having on other people's lives. So in your life, like thank you
I
so
hope
much.
it makes all the difference for somebody. I hope somebody relates to it and they're just like, well, if it worked for her, I got to give it a shot.
Yeah,
Just try this one more thing.
so good. So is there anything else you would like to share with the person listening today? Anything else in your heart, your mind?
You won't regret it. If you're truly tired of feeling like you're feeling right now, day in, day out, just try this one more thing because you're not going to need one more thing.
Yeah.
If you do this, I promise you it's it. That's it because I was that person. And my other testimonial, my husband, he had done everything. And we both worked with Dr. Lauren separately at different times. And she's in game.
Yeah.
She's in it to win it. And she's not going to let you down. Don't
Yeah.
let yourself down. She won't let you down.
Yes, I agree.
That's my personal promise.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
All right. I want to I would like to leave you with this today. If you are ready to take control of your health, balance your hormones, and start feeling your best, feel like yourself again, better than you did in your 20s, the vibrancy with the wisdom behind it all. Listen, if you are even curious about what TBR and the program and working with me looks like, and you are desiring the support that to actually get and achieve the results that you have been desiring so deep down inside, don't hesitate to reach out. There's plenty of ways you can reach out to me. You can message me, you can message our team. We are here to support you every step of the way. Okay? Every step of the way. We are not going to leave you hanging. All right. Well, thank you again, Jessie, for being here and your commitment to better health for you, your family. I'm wishing you all the best in your health, like now, the future, forever. And
I received that.
yes. And if you're watching here today, I love you and we will talk to you soon. All right?
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.